love with you, and I never loved someone the way that I love you. I keep on falling in and out of love with you, and I never loved someone the way that I love you.
Falling in love with you, that is what we do on Wake Up Nigeria. I am so in love with what Coda Band brings every Monday to Lagos, to Nigeria, and of course to the rest of the world. Good morning and welcome. Rise and shine, Nigeria. Welcome to Wake Up Nigeria. Now, we are excited very, very much, even though some things happen with me. But when I listened to Coda Band this morning, setting the pace for the week, my Monday is set. It is another opportunity for us, for me, to also, start up on those goals, begin to work on that project, or simply just decide to show up as the best version of yourself. So, whatever you're doing, coffee is not very advisable as the first thing in the morning, but some people need it to wake up. And now for some others, it might just be tea, it might be juice, but best of all will be water to start up your day. We're here to ensure that we kickstart this week on the right notes. My name is Mike Mesikeno. It's a whole slate, a whole, carousel that we have for you this morning. There's quite a lot, so get ready. We've got news, recipes, conversations, inspiration, SME, and all of that. Well, it's going to be a truly exceptional week. Now, you can hit us up on social media. Use the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC to engage and to interact with us. The handle is at tvcentertainment _ across Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and of course also LinkedIn, Twitter X, by the way. You can catch us live on our website. It's tvcentertainment.tv /live stream. You can also do that on YouTube at TVC Entertainment, where you can catch us. We are live on GOTV channel 16, StarTimes 121. The ultra high frequency, the terrestrial band will be 49. Options, options, options. We'll kick off this morning with the deliciousness that Chef Flora brings to the kitchen. That's what we have this morning. And well, she's set. We're set. I'm sure you are set. It's a go in the kitchen this morning. And then, of course, you already heard them. They are so beautiful. They had to start the show, of course, before me. It's Coda Band. Whoa. Coda, you guys are looking like you just came from one O1 bed. You have to tell me the O1 bed you went for this weekend, because you guys are looking so delicious. I don't know who I'll pick, Coda Band or the food. Nah, not good. It's a very tight race, but food is always number one. Coda Band, of course, in the house. We're getting set. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Monday with Coda Band. And then, of course, there was the Club World Cup just over the weekend. Quite a lot happened, but the big one had to be Real Madrid against Pachuca. Even with a red card, they still were able to, pick it up. We'll have that one on a beautiful game. And also, we have Callum, who will be here, Callum BDM. Of course, he is going to be performing for us this morning. He has some singles titled Wanting and Hold Up. And on SME, and this morning we have Emmanuel Udofia, who is the MD of Sonesis Energy. We'll be discussing some business knowledge. There's a lot you could probably learn, eh? Well, get ready to be inspired and to pick up some tips for your own particular kind of business. It's a go. Well, that's the size of what we have this Monday morning, and a little bit more in between and all of that. Well, get set for a wonderful show. Let's take a look at what the weather is like, and of course the news will come right up after that. Good morning and welcome to the news update. Of course, it's Wake Up Nigeria this morning. My name is Mike Messikeno. Let's get into it now. The President Bola Tinubu, has described the killing of travelers in Plateau State as barbaric and unacceptable. He has directed the Nigeria Police Force and other security agencies to arrest the perpetrators. In a statement by his special advisor on information and strategy, Bayo Onanuga, he said, and I quote, "Freedom of movement by all citizens is non-negotiable. We will not tolerate any attempt by anyone or group of people to curtail that fundamental freedom through acts of extreme violence and fear." End of quote. The president then calls for calm, promising not to allow the dastardly act to go on.
As the morning light filters in, the Max Breakfast kickstarts your day from the bedside.
Bring you the morning vibe and plenty of ginger to start your day right.
Join us on the Max Breakfast as we help you sing your day one step at a time. On Max Hits, we've got the ultimate playlist for you. We give you back-to-back.
And all the biggest news from the world of entertainment, only on Max Hits.
Area, waiting the apple, waiting the top. You need to award winning waiting the 102.3 Max FM.
Lagos, Nigeria, you're welcome to the Max Drive.
Whether you're there for inside motor, you're there for inside traffic, we're there for you with a Max.
Late nights on Max FM is where we help you connect the dots and put you in that place where you are ready to do it right.
We are dishing out the top hits of the week, counting down the biggest songs on your radio.
Let's go.
Right now.
On Max Sports, we bring to you sporting events happening all around the world.
It's not just sports, it's entertainment.
You know what it is. It's the Max House Party. King Dion, DJ Charlie Shee. Let's go!
We are your go-to for hit music, entertainment, and top-notch radio all day, every day. 102.3 Max FM. Hit music for Lagos.
As the morning light filters in, the Max Breakfast kickstarts your day from the bedside.
We bring you the morning vibe and plenty of ginger to start your day right.
Join us on the Max Breakfast as we help you sing your day one step at a time. On Max Hits, we've got the ultimate playlist for you. We give you back-to-back.
And all the biggest news from the world of entertainment, only on Max Hits.
Area, waiting the apple, waiting the top. You need to what you need waiting the 102.3 Max FM.
Lagos, Nigeria, you're welcome to the Max Drive.
Whether you're there for inside motor, you're there for inside traffic, we're there for you with a Max.
Late nights on Max FM.
TVC Communications, Nigeria's leading independent broadcast company, has been officially designated as a great place to work. Over the past few years, we have transformed our workplace into one which is respectful, caring, rewarding, and provides great benefits to all our 500 employees. We thank our team for giving us the chance to show that partnership between employer and employee really works. TVC Communications, officially designated as a great place to work, and now the only broadcasting and media company, not just in Nigeria, but throughout continental Africa, to be fully certified. TVC Communications, a great Nigerian company, a great Nigerian place to work.
Do you think you can outplay me in this game of wits and knowledge? Can you go 7 rounds without flinching? I meant answering 7 questions correctly. How well can you hold your liquor? If you're curious, then join us for the most exciting conversation and games with your favorite celebrities on 7 of 7.
Welcome to Pure Entertainment. What would you like to order from our menu today? We have the regulars.
So let me go and look for my jam results. So
My 20 was 320. I suppose don't be one better.
At this point, I contest my jam results.
I want to close the show.
I can go. I can.
Okay, that's all we can take. Ejeki, close the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, number 1 unavailable by Davido featuring Musa Keys.
We also have today's chef special.
Yo, shine, 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 shiny, yeah. Say recap done, and it's time for number 1 on the countdown. One of Nigeria's hottest artists right now, his name is Rema, and this one is called Charm. Kick it.
Another.
For dessert and a bit of nightcap, we have the nighttime and online specials.
I want to start the gym, yeah? But do you know one thing that's actually keeping me back? You should start the gym to get fat.
Cricket. That we're seeing here. This is just boiled fresh, no additives,
nothing,
right?
nothing.
Just boiled down. How long did you boil it for?
For like 1 hour.
1 hour, just water. So it seems to have a texture now. It's soft, very soft now, rather.
Yes, it has been cooked down just for this program.
So you didn't mash it?
No,
you
no,
didn't
no,
process
no,
it,
I
anything
didn't
else?
match it. I didn't
Okay,
process
fantastic.
it. And so I'm blocking with you can add different proteins to your
So we have
preference.
beef here.
So I have beef here.
Yeah.
I have smoked fish here. You can decide to use any form of protein that you prefer. Then I have this mixed pepper.
What type of pepper is that?
I have bonnet scotch pepper, chili pepper, and I have onions. I have garlic.
Okay.
And I have ginger powder. Everything is already added.
Okay. Did
then
you cook it down, or you just blended it down?
I just blended it down.
Okay,
Then I
fantastic.
have my sweet corn, the onions, spring onions, peels, green peels, and runner beans.
Okay. So now we've got all these ingredients at home. We've done all the prep. What is the first thing we're supposed to do?
So the first thing is I'm going to warm the oil. Yes.
Okay. The palm oil.
The palm oil.
Okay.
So I'm going to warm it with
in a frying pan.
Onions in a frying pan with onions.
Okay, fantastic. So the onions you've already sliced down. Do you want to use a pan or
No,
the
I'm using
dish?
fry pan for
Okay,
the
let me put
this
this
is
on
for
for you.
the
Let me put this on for you. All right. So do you want it very hot or just medium heat?
Just medium heat so that it will
all
not
right.
bring too much smoke. So
All
while
right.
doing that, I'm putting my.
Okay, so there is a bottle of oil here. Let me just take the label off quickly. All right, so how much oil are we talking about now? Like a cup or just a little? Or are you going to use your hands to gauge?
No, I'm going to use like 250 grams.
About 250 grams. All right. So I'm just going to add the oil here myself. But for those who like to use a lot of oil, is this a very oily dish?
Yeah.
Yeah. It is? So it's the palm oil, then onions first.
Yes.
Right? Okay, fantastic. Let me just make sure this doesn't tip over. All right, fantastic.
Okay, so while that one is going, then we are going to add the beans into the pot.
Okay. Great. So this is cooked this morning, these beans, or is it day-old beans?
Yeah, like 12 hours.
12 hours ago. Okay, fantastic. 12 hours ago.
I don't know if I want to use everything. I don't know if.
It's completely up to you, chef. You're the one cooking for us today. All right. You didn't put a lot of onion in there. You just put a little.
Yes, we still have to put it here.
Okay, fantastic. Fantastic. Okay. So do you need the heat under that as well?
Yes.
All right. Let's put the heat on under here. That's on now as well.
It's actually a very quick meal.
Okay, so you're adding some water.
Just little.
Just a little bit of water? Okay, fantastic. Great. So this beans has actually cooked down quite a bit.
Yes.
You're just warming it up so that it can infuse with the meal, I believe.
Yes, and then add the veggies into it.
Okay, fantastic. So for those of you that are just joining us, we're making adalu, right?
Yes.
Adalu. And Chef Flora is teaching us how to make this. She's already boiled down her beans. This was honey beans, I believe.
Yeah, this
brown honey beans.
No, it's just the brown.
Just brown beans.
Yes.
Brown beans. She hasn't added anything to it yet, but there are quite a lot of ingredients standing by here. We have salt. We have seasoning cubes. We have already prepared beef, smoked fish, a pepper mix here, and then an assortment of vegetables. So right now we're waiting for the oil to warm up and the beans to warm up, and then all the other ingredients will be added together. And I know you don't want to miss that. At this point, we have to hand it over to our band, the Coda Band, looking extra special this morning, and they're ready to perform. Are you guys ready? Are you guys set? All right, take it away. It's all yours, Coda Band. Go ahead, guys.
See you every day. You don't need no other body. You don't need no other body. You don't need no other body. Only you feel my body. Only you feel my body. Only you feel my body. For tonight standing, oh my God, oh. I get money before, no people party, oh. Waiting for Nampo, waiting for Uber and Akada. Oh my love is so me, I want to live, oh. I got to get it all, plenty moolah, money no get skill, we no get skill. Love and beyond. I thank you, Lord. My very Versace, my very Bugatti, and my daddy, and my mommy, they want the yellow, they want the Bugatti, they want my Toto, and my mommy, and my daddy. For one year, she wanna share. 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 Listen. For tonight, standing. Oh my God, oh. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. For one year, she wanna share. 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 She wanna share. She wanna share.
Level 2, electrified fence. That's terrifying. Let's get out of here.
Hey Nick fam! Remember, Nick on TVC is your one-stop for engaging children's shows like El Tigre, Paw Patrol, SpongeBob SquarePants, Kung Fu Panda, and lots more to keep the kids glued to their screens. Catch us on Mondays to Fridays at 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. and Saturdays and Sundays from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. right here on
anything at all just to make you happy, give you joy, make you laugh, make you dance. Entertainment is a way of life.
Martin Luther King Jr. was born in Atlanta, Georgia, January 15, 1929. The son of a Baptist minister, King received a doctorate degree in theology and in 1955 helped organize the first major protest of the African American civil rights movement, the successful Montgomery bus boycott. King participated in and led marches for the right to vote, desegregation, labor rights, and other civil rights. He advocated civil disobedience and nonviolent opposition against segregation in the South, influenced by Mahatma Gandhi, the peaceful protests he led throughout the American South were often met with violence. Nonetheless, Dr. King and his supporters were persistent and the movement gained momentum. Dr. King was a powerful orator. He appealed to Christian and American ideals and won growing support from the federal government and Northern White. In 1963, Bayard Rustin and A. Philip Randolph led the massive march on Washington for jobs and freedom. The event's grand finale was King's famous I Have a Dream speech. 250,000 people gathered outside the Lincoln Memorial to hear the stirring speech. In 1964, the civil rights movement achieved two of its greatest successes: the ratification of the 24th Amendment, which abolished the poll tax, and the Civil Rights Act of 1964, which prohibited racial discrimination in employment and education and outlawed racial segregation in public facilities. In the same year, King became the youngest person to win the Nobel Peace Prize. In the late 1960s, King openly criticized U.S. involvement in Vietnam and turned his efforts to winning economic rights for poor Americans. He was a leader of the American Civil Rights Movement and organized a number of peaceful protests as head of the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, including the March on Washington in 1963. He was assassinated in Memphis, Tennessee on April 4th, 1968.
Welcome to What's Up and About, and yeah, it's a Monday morning. It's the 23rd day in June.
Mike's birthday is on Sunday.
Whose birthday?
Wow.
Your birthday.
Wow.
It's not a work day.
Wow. I've not decided if I'm going to. Wait, calm down.
I've not decided if I'm going to do.
First of all, no. It's the age I've not decided.
Okay.
So when I decide the age, I'm not sure I'm going to decide before then. So just let's not.
So anyway, my next age is 16, so that's why.
Wow.
I'm currently 15 years old.
Wow.
So I'm going to be 16 next
Age,
birthday.
they say, is nothing but a number, but it's a very big number now.
Have you? Now, you see some people when they tell your age, you can times your own by 2 or 3.
You don't know the one that amazes me. When I was younger, if I hear 30, 40, 50, they're already old.
These people are old, exactly.
Now, somebody recently passed, and the person is 45, and I was like, wow, so young. And then I'm like,
how old are you again?
I'm getting older.
Yeah. I tell people that it's a blessing.
It is.
And it's not everybody that gets there. I think I remember a message was Genevieve. Genevieve put up a post and someone was like, Mama, you're getting old.
Wow.
And she'd be like, there was a response she gave and she spoke about how, you might not get there. Like she was trying to say, look, this is something that not everybody even gets to that point. It's something to be thankful for.
Yeah,
it's something
absolutely.
to make that. Make the best of now, as it were. So over the weekend. For me, there were different circumstances, different situations that just made me understand how, look, you have to make the best of now. I know we always plan for tomorrow, we always think about tomorrow, but make the best of now because, hey, tomorrow, today becomes a memory. And then you think about what could I have done better? Did I get the best out of it? And so,
Mike has become very inspirational a week to his birthday.
The week to his 45th
He's become motivational speaker for the next 1 week.
Wow, Titi, don't worry, yours is coming. You know, she's not talking about it, but inside there's been a lot of things going through Titi's head because it's landmark. But let me leave that for
Mike,
August.
how are you?
I'm good. So over the weekend, a lot happened. But I woke up on, was it Sunday morning? Was it Saturday morning? Saturday morning, and I just saw this press conference by Donald Trump.
Donald Trump.
The world went all, everybody just like, what's happening?
Whenever he talks like this, you just put your hand on your head. I'm like, hey!
There's just so much. There's just so much about this. To unpack it, let me tell you, a lot of people from on both sides of the divide. Is this a good thing? Is this not a good thing? Is this something that is, I think that in hindsight, yes, a lot of people would understand better when events come. But the point was something he said, and there was something Netanyahu said. I think it was Netanyahu's press conference I listened to first before Trump's own. And Netanyahu said something. He said, strength before peace, or bringing peace by strength. And then I thought about what was happening when I was taking the news today on what was happening in Nigeria. And I thought about it. Israel is on different fronts. There's the Gaza issue. There's now Iran coming in.
Yeah.
And then, but people are talking about how, oh, did the US just jump into this? But there's the concept of being partners, allies. And when an ally calls, you have to respond, you know, in whatever way. You know, so for me, it was the idea that when he mentioned, for me, what got me was that thing he said, strength for peace.
So there was this infographic
And
I
that
saw
was
that
what got
showed
to me.
how many nuclear weapons each country that has nuclear weapons actually has. And on the very top of the list is both US and Russia.
Yeah.
Iran is way down the list. Way, but it's still above UK. It's still above France, Spain, and some other places. But the fact that they have these weapons is what sort of makes them the top of the food chain. Not even really in business and commerce. China, of course, was a close third to this. But now, when you think about it, for someone as they say, when elephants fight, it's the grass that suffers. My issue really is, do they really have business going in that deep? That deep, that's the question. So I know that there's support, there's peace talks, there's all sorts of things they can do along the line. But to step head first into it, after, especially when Trump mentioned when he was planning, or just after his election, that he was like, no more wars. No more wars. Our soldiers won't go abroad to do this, that. He said a lot of that when he came in. So this just feels like him doing a complete U-turn and going against what essentially was promising in the beginning. So now there are a lot of protests going on in the U.S. right now, all over the place, against a lot of the things he's doing. So I don't know.
So Congress says that they are not aware, or rather they were not informed. They didn't give approval for it. That's on the one hand. Now, on the other hand, the reality is this. When I first saw it, my first impression was, wait, what? But then, when I started listening to the Americans, even though they were a bit boastful, talking about the reasons for the action, it began to make sense. However, it doesn't change the fact that these people lost top military officers, top scientists, and so many top people, and they will definitely retaliate. And the thing with retaliation is, just as the UN Security Council, I don't know if you guys watched Israel going after the UN Security Council, that where were you when all of these dramas, were happening? You people never step up until we take action on our own. And so when you look at it from different angles, you realize that, okay, even if you might look at Trump as, oh yes, Trump, here we go again. Exactly. Especially with his tone of voice, the way he talks. What he meant by now you have to come to the table is that we've destroyed a large number of your cache of weapons, right? Okay. Now come to the table, let's talk about it. So that's what he was looking at. Okay. But does it change the fact that there may be repercussions? Because that's what the UN is against. The UN is trying to ensure that it doesn't continue as a plethora of I get back at you, you get back at me, and then it now turns to an all-out war. Because when America gets fully involved, for now they are not really involved though. But when they get fully involved, there's a likelihood of a third world war.
It won't happen, and this is why. Like I said, there's just a lot about it. We can just give your own and say, okay, this is what I think. But Iranians have come out to say, what if we just hit was just the entrance and the exit, 2 tunnels. We didn't touch
anything.
Yeah.
There's another people that are telling behind that, look, we planned this thing together. So we want to de-escalate. We want some people's pride to remain. Let us go and preemptive strike. You see me as if you take a hit, you calm down.
So is it like a warning? It's a warning.
Let's talk about how they were told that they were going to strike here and here. People should just move away. We have to create something. There's a lot. See, when it comes to world politics, look, from different angles, there's a lot that you can see and you cannot see. Now, but talking about Russia and US having nuclear this thing and all of that, you have to understand that, look, for the world powers, when they enrich themselves, they're looking at, look, you are doing it, I'm doing it, let us know that, see, if we want to do, we will steer, everybody will go. So it's assured mutual destruction. So where you are enriching, but you see, the US will come up and say that we are protectors of the free world. And like what Donald Trump said was, look, Iran is a major sponsor of terrorism in the Middle East. And so they cannot be allowed, because if they have and build up to anything close to our capacity, with what we have known, the antecedents that they already have on ground. This is what's going to happen.
Trump referred to them as bullies.
Exactly. So but the point is this. A number of analysts, I was listening to some Pentagon, and a number of people will tell you that this will precede peace, that this is what will bring peace. So there's a lot that we can...
So, locally, if we bring it to Nigeria, Nigeria is a strong force, especially when it comes to military in West Africa. Why are you looking at me like that? It's true, you can't change that fact. In West Africa, Nigeria is a strong force. And then, I'm leading somewhere. I don't know, did you see that tweet by Iran? Did you see that tweet? So, Iran tweeted with several countries' flags and then decided to use 3 different flags
for Nigeria
to call on Nigeria as to whether we are going to be part of it or not.
Which Iranian organization put up that tweet first of all?
It's probably a random tweet.
Exactly.
I just want to say this.
The vibes. It can be vibes and inshallah on X.
We are peace-loving people in Nigeria.
Yes, we are.
We haven't even finished fighting our internal battles.
That one is not.
Of which most of us are still hiding under the table in our houses.
It still feels like an entanglement, really.
Whether it's entangled or not.
It doesn't feel like a real marriage.
We just want to beg.
It doesn't feel like a real...
Africa is not between you people.
Oh gosh.
You can go this way.
You can go round.
Okay, this one is just for vibes, yeah. But something else I would just like to mention when it comes to Nigeria and all of that was the issue of favor of Philly. And I don't know, maybe I will even take Beautiful Game and talk a lot more about it. But
oh yes, the defection.
There's that talk. Defection is a very strong word to use.
Defection is long now.
No, it's not defection.
It's defection.
Favor of Philly has been trending, of course, and then we know what happened.
So the question is, did she really have a choice? If she really wanted to,
Yeah, she wanted to compete, and time and over again, she had been let down by the country.
Sure. Yeah.
Either not registering her, not doing the basic administrative issues, things that should not come up in issues.
And a country like Turkey is willing.
It generally brings us back to that statement we will talk about, let Nigeria not happen to you. And it is in this kind of scenarios. There's a lot that by yourself you cannot do, no matter how religious you are, when the system doesn't work.
Yes.
No matter how spiritual you are, no matter how powerful you are, but when the system doesn't work, there's a lot. And this is not on individuals now. As a country, you see,
you know what?
It's not about one person. It's not about the governors at different places. This was not about even a governor. This was about officials, somebody in an office under a desk, an administrator. Do what is right. You complain about the top when you yourself, if you had that chance with what you are doing, you'll probably be more wicked because you see things that happen personal and all of the things. As a people, what are you doing? What are we doing? Simple administrative issues. Someone just behind the desk. Some people.
Mike, thank you so much for that Monday motivation. At this point, we have to motivate ourselves to the next segment. Stay with us. You're watching Wake Up Nigeria.
And all the passengers. Efficient. It's comfortable.
This development will go a long way in reducing congestion and emission.
The trains are a long-term solution to Lagos traffic challenges.
This is where we take the final, decisions on policies, programs of government. I will have to ensure that, the narration of Lagos as a PLC is taken very, very seriously.
This is a major pedestrian bridge linking Oyingo here to Apapa Road over there.
With this overpass, we are providing what we call a permanent solution.
This place is one of the most dangerous areas at the biosecurity environment.
This can go into the news and every crumbs of your neighborhood.
Our goal is to remain as Africa's model megacity, to move our GDP from the 5-6 position to the 3rd position, and we believe it's achievable with all the commitments we have.
Explore the city of Lagos, where dreams are made and possibilities are endless. Amadedoja Salamadini. I live in Lagos, inside Lagos.
And welcome back, and thank you for staying with us. We have the head of corporate trust services of Meristem Trust trustees here, Vivian Bogu. It is great to have you. You are welcome. You're welcome. You know, growing up here, I used to, there's this particular brand which I will not mention, and then we always used to pass by there, and then I will always see trustees. I used to come in contact with that word a lot growing up. I never asked what it meant, but then growing up, I got to understand. But then I know a number of people, when it comes to financial services, maybe they just know the basic. Okay, just go to the bank, put in my money, take out my money, and that is okay for me. Just save and all of that. But there is much more. There's investment. There's planning for life. There's planning after life. And that is where trustees come in.
Yes.
So tell us, what is Meristem Trustees all about?
Okay. Thank you very much, Mike. Meristem Trustees Limited is a subsidiary of Meristem Securities Limited.
Okay.
And we are licensed by the Securities and Exchange Commission to provide trust services. In line with our license, we have and owed a fiduciary duty to all of our clients. So in situations where you have multiple parties interested in a certain class of assets and you're looking for a third-party independent professional to oversee the assets and look out for the interest of the beneficiaries, that is where Meristem Trustees comes in.
You know, that concept of third party is a concept that as Africans we have not really embraced.
Yeah.
If you go to the modern world and first world countries and all of that, this has, you know, the system is there. In fact, there are some things that you cannot do even with government or whatever, until you have this third party involved. But over here, somebody says that our third party insurance is with the blood of Jesus. So you see, people don't understand that concept. How important is it for us as Africans, as Nigerians, to embrace that concept that you mentioned of third party involvement in our finances and things that we do?
It's already in our nature as Nigerians to have trust issues. In a situation where you have trust issues, why not engage a third-party professional that you know is not really interested in the assets or looking out for the interest of any of the parties separately? They are an independent party. They are looking out for all parties in line with whatever structure that has been put in place. And you're ensuring that the assets that you've moved into their custody or into their hands is adequately taken care of for the interest of the beneficiaries or whoever it is that is interested in such assets.
All right, so what assets, what kind of assets are we talking about as a businessman, maybe an entrepreneur, even as an employee and all of that? How do I involve third party like Meristem Trustees to work with me?
Thank you, Mike. So different classes of assets can be moved into the trust under the custody of the trustee. So you have classes of assets like real estate, you have classes of assets like cash, investments, equities, everything you hold there and you do not want to get into the wrong hands can be moved into the trustee to manage and administer on behalf of all parties involved.
Well, so what is that? Is there any surety, like how am I sure that if I put this thing with Meristem Trustees, is it going to still be there? Like, can something happen? We've seen banks that, liquidated or something. What if something happens to Meristem and there's no Meristem? What happens to my assets?
So remember during the initial point when we started this conversation, I had mentioned that we are licensed by the Securities and Exchange Commission. We have our regulators and we do not do things that would make our regulators come for us or come for our license. So we ensure that whatever it is that we've committed to is what we end up executing. And should in case, God forbid, which is very unlikely for Meristem to go under, there's usually a provision in whatever trust documents we have that provides for an additional trustee or a successor trustee. So you as the client, to continue from where Meristem Trustee stopped. And if that is not the case, the Securities and Exchange Commission, being our regulators, would come in and engage another trustee to continue from where we stopped.
All right, now you have a number of offerings. You know, there's a special needs trust, there's education trust, living trust, simple will, comprehensive will, corporate trust. Let's talk education. You know, that's something that I would love to. How does that work?
Okay, so like the name implies, the education trust is targeted at parents who have children who are still in school or getting ready to go into school and all of that. Not limited to parents. We also have it targeted at grandparents who are looking to look out for their grandchildren. We have institutions who maybe had some sort of eventuality and they had an employee who was within the organization and probably died and they want to, continue from wherever it is the person stopped. They take charge of the person's children's education. So education starting from when the children are toddlers to when they are from primary school, secondary school, university. It caters to everything that the parents, what their objectives are. They want to ensure that they reach, they obtain certain degrees, they obtain first degree, master's degree, PhD level, whatever it is that the vision is of the parent for the child comes to play. So it caters to the tuition, caters to books, sometimes caters to their upkeep as well. So it ensures that whatever
maybe depending
objective,
on the package that they signed up for.
Exactly, that's correct. So whatever it is that the parent has in mind for the child is properly executed by the trustee. So certain classes of assets are moved into the trust for the trustee to administer on behalf of such child. And whatever balances are left in the trust when the child maybe obtains first degree or master's degree goes back either to the child or to their parents.
All right, I want to, the living trust, I understand quite a lot, but that's the one I also want to talk about. What's the concept of the living trust about?
So the living trust is an estate planning tool, and it's one of the most popular ones where you pull certain asset classes into the custody of the trustee. It takes effect during your lifetime.
During your lifetime.
I know the most common estate planning tool that people in this part of the world are aware of but still shy away from is the will. But the living trust, like the name implies, takes effect during your lifetime. So you're the person setting up the trust. You're saying, oh, I want to pull all of my assets into this trust arrangement, which is a legal arrangement, and you're saying, trustee, maritime trustees, I want you to take over these assets, control these assets, administer these assets for myself and for my designated beneficiaries. So it's more or less like you actively ensuring that third parties do not lay claim to these assets. It's also you trying to ensure that these assets do not go through probate. Should in case anything happen to you tomorrow, you want the assets to transition from your generation, whether first generation, second generation, or third generation, so nothing goes amiss at the end of the day regarding your estate.
Wonderful, wonderful. And then, of course, like you mentioned, you said the one people don't want to is the will. Now, there's a simple will and then there's a comprehensive will. Let's go over that also.
Okay, so the comprehensive will is you putting pen to paper. You own certain asset classes and you're saying, should anything happen to me tomorrow, I want this assets to go to this child, I want this assets to go to my parents, I want it to go to my siblings. But it's easy because you're putting pen to paper, but there's something known as estate tax that comes to play. So you have to, your beneficiaries and your executors would have to go through probate before they can lay access or
so
get access to
are
this.
Not executors.
We can act as executors if you want us to act as.
Okay,
exactly.
so that's an option.
Yes.
You can not only holding the trust, you can also execute.
That's correct.
All right.
So we prepare the will. If you appoint us as the executors, should anything happen tomorrow, we continue from where we stopped in terms of where we drafted the will and registered it. So it's not about putting pen to paper and saying, I have this cash in this bank and I want it to go to this person. So you're saying, should anything happen, please go to the probate registry, ensure you obtain grants of probate and ensure that whatever balances are left in this bank account gets to this child. So like the name entails, comprehensive will, it covers everything you own, from your real estate, your vehicles, your arts, your antiques, your iPhone, whatever it is that you owe there would come under the comprehensive will. But for the simple will, it's limited to near cash assets. So your retirement savings accounts, your cash in bank and equities.
How about, we're in the world now where e-assets has become quite a thing. I'm talking about, of course, payment wallets and all of that. And then even as much as people going as far as social media accounts.
Yeah.
You have social media accounts that are highly monetized and all of that. Does that fall under your purview?
We've embraced the concept of technology and we're trying as much as possible to go in line with how technology is advancing. So everything you hold there, everything you monetize can go into your will. You're saying, should anything happen, this is the password, this is how I do things, this is what I get at the end of the day. So all of that will go into whatever structure you consider at the end of the day.
Wonderful, wonderful. I like that because that's where we are. As a lot of people have more assets. In fact, I was talking to someone the other day, and a lot of people are saying, look, rather than invest in physical property, in physical real estate, there's now the virtual real estate. There's now the world of technology, and that's what we're going through. Now, something people after hearing all of this want to ask: when it comes to charges, do people do I pay differently to, you know, like a retainership or something, or is it a charge from whatever asset I have? How does that all work? How does somebody get to engage Meristem trustees?
So I don't want to mention random figures. I don't chase our potential clients.
Yes,
but
okay.
I would indicate. So we have a fee range.
Okay.
We have what is known as a sign-on fee, which is applicable for the trust services. So you're paying a sign-on fee for the advisory, the documentation, the structuring, and all of that.
I just wanted to know that's
on an annual basis, there's a recurring fee. But for
more or less like a retainership.
Yeah.
Okay.
But for the will, it's a one-off service.
All
so
right.
you're only paying a sign-on fee, which covers the drafting, the review, the registration, and all of that.
All right, let's wrap up. How do we hit you up? Social media and all of that. How do we get in
So
touch?
sorry to cut you short.
Okay.
So I thought to also mention about our special needs trust, which is our newest product offering within the Meristem Trustees Limited establishment. So our special needs trust, I know it's a very uncomfortable conversation when you talk about people with special needs, people with disabilities and all of that, but it is important to mention that in taking care of whilst protecting the assets you have under the trust and all of that, if you have a child, you have a parent, you have a sibling with special needs, with some sort of disability, you should also consider setting up a trust for them. You know, it's about showing love, it's about using wisdom. I know nobody wishes for anything bad to happen to them, but life is life. Life will throw lemons at you. You need to be strategic in the way you structure your assets. You need to be strategic with the way you take care of your loved ones and all of that. So I just thought to use this opportunity to also mention the special needs trust, which is targeted at those with disabilities. So we have situations where parents have children with autism, parents have children with Down syndrome. They set aside a particular legal structure that caters to their needs, their upkeep. It gives them some sort of peace of mind, and you're engaging a trustee that would ensure that there is no misappropriation of funds, there's no mismanagement of funds and all of that. Should, in case anything happens to the parents tomorrow, you know that the trustee is still in the picture to cater to the needs of this disabled person and all of that. And it's important to mention that so yes, we shy away from these conversations. Yeah, you think, oh, you have family members or siblings who will take care of this person, but having a third party to hold the assets that you've secured for this person and moving it to the trustee to take care of is very, very important. So I just thought to mention that.
All right,
thank
wonderful.
you, Mike.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you, Mike.
Quite enlightening and educative.
Thank you very much.
I hope you're able to pick something from that now. We'll take a time out now. Don't go anywhere. There's still much to come on the show.
In tourism. Let us commit again at the Travel Indaba as Africans to build an inclusive, sustainable and a resilient sector, one that lifts up our communities, that bridges borders and protects our shared heritage in the continent.
It's a Pan-African travel show which brings the world to us, but mostly Africans to actually have B2B meetings or business-to-business meetings with other African SMMEs or tour operators. And the value chain of tourism is highly impacted during this period because we get to sign deals, you get to explore our destinations, besides just having meetings.
All right, welcome back. It's the second lap of Wake Up Nigeria on the Monday morning, the 23rd of June 2025. Welcome. If you're just joining us, you've missed one whole hour of the show, but hey, come on. We've still got 45 minutes with entertainment, education, and of course, enlightenment for you on the show this morning. My name is Mike Messikeno, and yeah, we do have a whole lot of stuff for you coming up in the second lap. Of course, we've been having some quite interesting, menu in the kitchen. I'm looking forward to what it is. Chef Flora, of course, is there putting together. I saw beans and corn, and the name exactly of what it is, we'll get to know. It skips my mind, but hey, we'll have something warming up in the kitchen with Chef Flora, who's here to delight our taste buds. And of course, we do have a performance this morning, Afrobeats vibes. Kalam BDM with his latest singles, One Thing and Hold Up, will be here to perform this morning. And then on SME, we have Emmanuel Udofia, the MD of Sonesis Energy. We'll be talking about some business nuggets, things that you would learn from. So it's definitely something you would need to tune into. You don't want to miss that one. And of course, the best way to start a Monday morning, Coda Band have been here with us. They've given us 2 scintillating performances already. We've still got 1 or 2 more to go. Coda Band, of course, in the house. Whoa, it's quite something. All right. It's going to be a wonderful one. Coda Band is here. They will be performing. Don't go anywhere. We'll take a short break. We'll be right back. All right, that was Real Madrid, of course, at the Club World Cup yesterday. No, yesterday. And it was quite an interesting match, of course. I don't know if Mary saw it, but Mary's here with me. Hello, Mary. You're welcome.
I'm very well.
Which of the matches did you watch when it comes to the Club World Cup?
So
yesterday?
funny thing is, I didn't watch any yesterday because I was so busy.
The timing, when it comes to the time zones, and that's what a number of people have complained about when it comes to this competition.
Yes.
In the US alone as a country has 4 time zones, right, normally. And
so by the time you're trying to catch up with this one, it's actually a different time zone.
And then...
But I tried to watch recap, but I've not seen the recap for
and then, but the funny thing was how, the heat there, because now they're taking cooling breaks. So if you notice that in between, so it's more or less like now, in basketball you have quarters. Oh, by the way, big shout out to OKC for winning, this thing. Playoffs and all of that after Game 7.
And big shout out to Kevin Durant. Welcome to Houston Rockets. I'm so excited. I'm a huge fan of Houston Rockets. I'm happy Kevin Durant has joined us.
All right, but then there's been those breaks in between halves where they're taking cooling breaks, and there's that talk about how the European teams are being affected because of the heat.
Yes.
And the South American teams are, up until I think it was Bayern Munich defeating Boca. The South American teams had not lost. They were winning and having the draws and all of that. It's more or less that the question now becomes that cash grab that Gianni Infantino, president of FIFA, has put together. That cash grab, is it worth it? This season. A number of other players are on break now. Now these ones are basically going to play. They have to play for maybe 2 or 3 more weeks and all of that. Is it worth it for the cash that is being involved? Even there's quite a lot of cash.
Yes.
Is it worth it playing this competition?
There's actually quite a lot of cash, and it's supposed to be among the, in quotes, best teams in the world. However, let's also keep in mind that it's not. There were talks about players complaining and even coaches and all that this is going to put more pressure on the players, because this is usually the time they get to relax and recalibrate in preparation for the next season. But that is not going to work anymore, because they are going to literally walk through their holidays and maybe get a couple of weeks before the new season starts. So that is bad on its own. Then this issue of heat, it's always been like that when you switch environments. For an African going to play in a snowy place, for example, it's a challenge. It could going to play in this is summer more or less. So it's understandable that there is going to be very hot. It's also part of it. So, life is funny. I'll use that expression, because you're told as an African when you go to a place with a different weather that you should prepare yourself, you should do this. I would expect that they were also prepared for it. And even if you're not ready for it, I believe it will probably help them have more empathy towards people from other regions, tropical regions that
in some
come
matches,
to their places.
The substitutes, rather than staying on the bench because of the sun, they went into the dressing room
to stay cool,
to watch.
Yeah.
They stayed inside the dressing room.
Yeah.
Qatar hosted the World Cup in very hot conditions, but they did all they could in the stadiums. Technology was advanced. You sit down on the chair, you could turn on cooling for yourself.
Yeah.
On different, they had fans across they had even AC stadiums and all of that. They pushed technology, but that is not happening in the US at this particular point in time.
America assumed, people should know how the heat is here. And it doesn't work that way. Their heat might not be as bad as Qatar, but there's no changing the fact that it's quite hot.
All right, let me just rush through other scorelines. Manchester City defeated Al Ain 6-0. Salzburg and Al Hilal played out a goalless draw. Of course, Real Madrid with a red card defeated Pachuca 3-1. Juventus defeated Wydad Casablanca of Morocco. It was 4-1. River Plate and Monterrey played out a goalless draw. Fluminense defeated Ulsan Hyundai of Korea 4-2.
We thought we'd be able to talk further on the... you said I should not use defection.
No, we'll talk about it some other time. Maybe across the week, because there's still more to break down on that particular one. All right, thank you, Mary. Now that's it. We'll take a time out now. Stay with us. Still more to come on the show.
I'm Miriam Lunge. I'm a passionate environment advocate and a published author.
I am the founder of Celebration, a businesswoman, and a fashion icon.
I am a wealth coach and a real estate developer.
I am Amako Arakwe. I'm a corporate commercial lawyer and an entrepreneur.
Barkamu da warhaka. I am Ramatu Shehu Oyibo, an entrepreneur and a business coach.
I am the voice of an average Muslim woman, an hijabite, and a lawyer.
I am a polymath and a serial entrepreneur.
I am Murayo Afolabi Brown, Managing Director, TVC Entertainment. I'm a media consultant, producer, and broadcaster.
The ladies of Your View are made of women from different professions, tribes, cultures, and religion. Join us every Monday to Friday as we share our views on topical and social issues.
Entertainment is life. That bit of life that makes life bearable, that makes it fun. And I know that what I do contributes to that, because I tell my staff that we are not just designers, we are actually selling joy and happiness. So when we're able to put a smile on somebody's face from the dress they wear, make someone very confident because of what they wear, we've done our job, and I'm sure that's entertainment.
Welcome back to the Wake Up Nigeria kitchen. Chef Flora has been here with a smile on her face, ready to teach us how to make adalu. If you missed the earlier parts of it, you should head over to YouTube a little later on to see the beginning of the process of this particular meal. One of the core ingredients, of course, is beans, brown beans, which she parboiled before coming to the studio today. Now, you've done some other things since we left. What have we done so far?
Yes, I've added some veggies.
Veggies? Which ones specifically?
Mixed pepper. I've added the spring onions.
Spring onions.
The runner beans.
Okay.
And then the part of the pepper
Okay,
there. And it's already seasoning already.
Okay, all right. So are we still adding more of the veggies now?
Are
we adding more?
Yes, we're adding the corn itself.
Okay,
That's
all right.
the major ingredient for adalu.
So adalu's major ingredient is corn, sweet
and
corn.
beans.
So apparently, you know, the original recipe includes boiling corn down
you have to
for
get
a long
the
time.
dry corn, and then maybe then when the corn is out of season, maybe you might go there, but you can use your pressure cooker to reduce it cooking time. But I reduce the cooking time by using the
sweet corn.
The sweet corn.
Okay.
And then we are even in corn season. You can just go out there and get fresh corns, and then you.
And of course, fresh corn, boiling it down doesn't take more than 10
No, it doesn't even take
10,
much
15
time.
minutes. Yeah. So at this point, we have vegetables and beans all together in the pot. We also have palm oil there.
Yeah, the palm oil is going inside.
The palm oil, we fried some onions in
part
there.
of it.
So it's both the palm oil and the onions you're adding?
Yeah. It's just to add the flavor.
Okay, I'm going to take this off the heat now because of the smoke.
So the adalu is almost ready.
Almost ready. Yeah. She also mentioned that we had some other protein standing by. Yes. She's using fried beef and smoked fish. She has deboned the smoked fish and removed the heads. I'm just wondering when that's going to be added to this adalu. It's going in now?
Part of it will be fried for garnishing.
So you can see the ingredients on your screen. If you would like to try this at home yourself, please let us know. Show us, use a video or a picture to show us what you're getting up to in your kitchen. And then, of course, we would expect you to tag us. Use our hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC. Once again, those are the ingredients on your screen. And if you have all of these lying around in your kitchen and you've been wondering, what can I use all these to do? This is an amazing example. Adalu and Chef Flora has been turning this plain bean dish into something extra special. So how long do we have to
we just
wait on
have
this
some
now?
2 minutes to just let
About
it
2
steam off.
minutes. All right.
Yeah, basically almost ready.
So you might even have maybe day-old beans, or maybe
Yes,
beans
leftover beans.
Leftover beans. You want to turn it into something else. Hey, you never know. This might be it. Just add some onions and some vegetables. There's green beans there, spring onions, and a bit of pepper mix. Now, I didn't see any tomato in this at all.
Yes, there is.
There is tomato?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I didn't see it earlier, but you mentioned chili pepper, you mentioned scotch bonnet,
onions, ginger, garlic.
And of course, one of the major parts of this particular dish is the palm oil. Now, we're not bleaching the palm oil.
No, no, no.
It's just nicely warmed, and the pepper mix and the remaining vegetables have gone straight in right now. So, hey, you might want to try this, and would love to see how it looks and hear how it tastes later on from you at home. But Chef Flora, is there anything else I could add to this if I wanted
you can
to spice
actually
it up?
you can add your any form of any protein protein that you have. It might be prawn, it might be crayfish, it might be chicken, you know, or asun or whatever. You just enjoy yourself.
So what would I serve this with now? Most people, once they're eating beans, they have something specific they like to eat it with. I know at home when I was younger, my mom used to put gari on it, you know, the Jebu gari on top of it. And that was extremely nostalgic for me. Then some just go for bread, agege bread, something nice and fluffy and soft by the side. What would you pair this with?
That will be too heavy for someone. That's adding gari and then whatever bread to this one, to adalu. For me, I think it's too heavy. Except maybe you are someone that is maybe an engineer, you know,
you do heavy work.
Because this is fiber filled. It's already fiber filled. And I added runner beans, I added green peel. Then
Making
the
it
beans,
even heavier.
The beans itself has a lot of fiber.
It go shock you.
I would have
fluffy bread we show now. We know how we are adapting.
I would have loved to add some maybe vegetable like saint leaf or whatever. It has a calming effect. Some people react to beans, you know, but when you put saint leaf into it, it gives you that calming effect, no burning, you know. So, but I'm not going to put it here because it's a lot fiber filled already, so you don't need. It's very sensitive for people with.
I understand. So. All right. Now, for those of you who are looking forward to seeing the finished product, don't worry, we'll be serving it a little later on. But right now, I have to hand it over to Mary. Mary, how's it going over there?
It's going well, quite well, because it's time for us to turn up the excitement this Monday morning with Afrobeat vibes by Akintoye Yusuf Abidemi, popularly known as Kalam BDM. Now, he's known for his sensational style of music, and his latest singles are titled Wanting and Hold Up. So, Kalam BDM, that sounds really interesting. Where did you get that from?
I actually picked it up from my dad's name.
Okay.
And Kalam, according to him, is an acronym for his names. So I picked it up because I've loved it when I was small. So.
Then BDM sounds
BDM,
like BDM.
BDM, yes.
See? So BDM. Okay, Kalam BDM. Interesting. Yeah. So what kind of music do you do?
Yeah, basically I do Afrobeats and I call let's say Afrofusion.
Aha, that's what I was waiting for. Because I see a lot of Afrobeats. I do Afrobeats and all, just as I mentioned earlier. But then it turns out that it's more of Afrofusion because you put in a lot of other...
So you merge them together and then
So for how long have you been doing music?
Let's say like 5 to 6 years. Because,
professionally?
Yeah, professionally.
Okay. I'm asking professionally because I know some people have been doing it for several years and it then comes to a particular point that they decide to really do it professionally. So was that the same case for you as well?
Actually, I started like, if I want to like go back in time, and I would say like 7 to 8, but professionally it would be like 5 or 6.
Okay. Yes. So how did it start?
So it started by me. I had friends who were doing music basically, and then I was always at the backstage, like getting to like tell them, okay, let's go about this way, let's do it this way. And then there was a point in time when I followed them to the studio, and then they were making the song that particular time. So, and then I gave them an idea that it required me giving them my melody myself. And then when I did that, so it was more like, oh, you could actually do this thing. So
wow.
And then so
yours
tried.
was you stumbled into it.
I stumbled into, but before I knew I could do it, but then I was more like a backstage person at first. So.
Oh, nice. So if you could collaborate with, say, any 5 Nigerian artists, who would you choose?
Okay, I think I would start with Ricardo Banks because
you look
from
like
start because
okay.
Because I like him a lot, and then I'd go to Olamide, I'd go to Wheezy, then I would go to Burna Boy, I'd go to let's say Buju Benson.
Oh, okay,
Now,
that's interesting.
Yeah.
So Hold Up or One Thing, which one are we going for? Hold Up?
Yeah, let's go for Hold Up first because that's my latest single.
That's your latest single.
Yeah.
Okay, so Calamity DM will be giving us Hold Up. Stay with us.
Because my babe is my life.
Muhammad Ali was born and raised in Louisville, Kentucky on January 17, 1942. His birth name was Cassius Marcellus Clay Jr. He began training as an amateur boxer at age 12, and at 18 he won a gold medal in the light heavyweight division at the 1960 Summer Olympics and turned professional later that year. In his early years as a professional, Clay was more highly regarded for his charm and personality than for his ring skills. He sought to raise public interest in his fights by reading childlike poetry and spouting self-descriptive phrases like float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. On February 25, 1964, at age 22, he pulled off a major upset, defeating Sonny Liston to win the World Heavyweight Championship. That same year, he shocked the boxing establishment again by denouncing his birth name as a slave name and formally took the name Muhammad Ali, which was given to him by his spiritual mentor Elijah Muhammad, leader of the Nation of Islam. For the next 3 years, Ali dominated the boxing arena. Muhammad Ali retired from boxing in 1981 and focused on his religion, philanthropy, and activism. In 1984, he made public his diagnosis of Parkinson's syndrome, which some reports attributed to boxing-related injuries, though he and his specialist physicians disputed this. He remained an active public figure globally, but in his later years made fewer public appearances as his condition worsened and he was cared for by his family. Ali was chosen to light the Olympic flame at the start of the 1996 Olympic Games in Atlanta, Georgia. He died on June 3rd, 2016.
Entertainment, I believe, is expression of life. It's bring you into my world, what I love, what I feel when I dance, when I'm happy, when I'm sad, all my emotions all mixed together. I'm bringing it out to just entertain you and immerse you into my own world. Entertainment is life, entertainment is God, entertainment is love.
Welcome back. Now it's time for our SME segment, and I've been honestly getting taught some things. I didn't think I would ever want to go into oil and gas till today. Mr. Emmanuel Udofia is here with us, and we're having a discussion with him as the MD of Sunesis Energy. Now, it's an energy solution company focused on deep learning across the hydrocarbon accounting aspect of the framework. Now, it was designed to address technical and commercial needs across the HCA business. It's like a value chain that we need for him to break down for us. And over the years, Sunesis Energy has consistently received exceptional positive feedback on this flagship course. It's great to have you here, Mr. Udofia. Welcome. All right, so for those that don't understand what Sunesis Energy is all about, how would you break it down?
We are an oil and gas solution company.
Okay.
Focus mainly on the upstream.
Okay.
We provide digital transformation implementation solution.
Okay.
End-to-end. Hydrocarbon accounting solution end-to-end.
Okay, so you know everything you've said now is like you just entered one ear and went out the other way. I need to break down what you mean by upstream and downstream for just the layman. So to the best of my knowledge, when I hear oil and gas, I think of, the process of distillation, what happens to Brent crude when it's broken down into everything from kerosene to diesel to PMS and gas as well. So your company doesn't deal with any of those aspects. Am I right?
Yeah, for now, yeah.
For now, okay. Yeah. So your business starts before that distillation process happens.
Yeah.
Okay, so please break down what exactly happens in the upstream.
In the upstream, basically you produce the oil from the well.
Okay.
Store it, maybe in a tanker.
Okay. And
you export it or sell it.
Interesting.
Which we call the custody transfer point.
All right.
Yeah.
So now let's talk hydrocarbon
accounting.
Accounting, that's the word I'm looking for. Hydrocarbon accounting, please break that down for us.
Hydrocarbon accounting is like an umbrella word
okay.
that includes measurement,
okay.
allocation, or allocating as some might call it, deferment, that's losses, how you manage your losses, and of course reporting of the data that you've had.
So this is sort of measuring what comes out of the well.
Yeah, what comes, what
as soon as it comes out of the well, essentially.
Yeah, when you talk about accounting or measurement, as the word I want to use, it's a little bit challenging in the oil and gas industry, because in the oil and gas industry, 1 barrel plus 1 barrel is not 2. The reason why it's not 2, it's because the measurement inconsistency, and it's not really a problem. It's just that the variation shouldn't exceed an acceptable range.
So, what is it about this particular business that made you decide, you know what, this is what I want to go into? Because I feel like as a consultant, as an educator right now in this space, it's a very niche space, and it's even more high risk at this point.
Yeah.
So break down how you made this decision.
I made this decision because I found that there's a big gap. If you look at what the Nigerian Extractive Industry Transparency Initiative, which we just call NITI, reported, is that for the last 10 years, from 2014 to 2023, we've lost over 360 million barrels.
360
million barrels. This is official report. That if you can translate it, you count 1 million barrels every day in Nigeria. Because of what? Measurement error and allocation. So it's a big problem. Even the regulator and UPROC, they recognize that. That was why they instigated integrity tests on the LACT unit or the custody transfer, because they have equally understand that, look, measurement is a big issue. And so you could see it's a big gap that because you might do all the work. If you have issue at the point of measurement, then it's like
there's no gain.
There's no gain, basically. Yeah.
So now you've been training professionals. I would say you've been training professionals in the oil and gas sector in this particular area. So would you say what your company does is more on the educational side of things or consulting side of things? And which side do you believe is more cost effective for you to maintain?
To be very frank, I would say we do all of that. But why the issue of the, let me use your word, education part of it is very important is that before you start solving any problem, you should be able to understand or accept the fact that there's a problem. And because when we talk about hydrocarbon accounting, it basically brings up the challenge that you have. If you don't do that, you might not even know that you have that such problem. So the first thing is to establish that this is what it is, then we progress from there. For instance, we do internal audit for companies. The outcome of the audit will tell you what you need to fix or what you need to do to be able to improve or make your system to be more efficient. And
actually, it kind of feels like you are in a sector that could be considered disruptive. Can I use that term?
I like that term.
Disruptive, because there are probably some entities, some sets of people who are not really hoping for everything to be measured so accurately. Have you ever felt like you might get any pushback in that area?
It's not really me having the pushback, is that even I would say the government, I just mentioned NITI, I mentioned the regulator, they know that there's a problem.
So they understand that there's a problem.
There's a problem, so they are trying to fix it. So what we are doing is to enable that process. Because when we engage the operators, we take them through what we call the hydrocarbon accounting framework or process, as we might call it, to let them understand that this is the problem and this is how you need to solve it. So we bring it down to first principle. Yeah. So it's a game changer. Yeah, because the reality is that why spend that time or energy doing something that you know that you are losing at the point of measurement? I just mentioned what I just mentioned is official figure. Yeah, telling you that on the average we lose about 1 million barrels. If you multiply that now, a Brent crude is about $70 per barrel. Just multiply that. You know what we are talking about.
Yes. So now, if for instance you are to explain the types of clients you have, the assumption, of course, obviously most of the oil and gas giants, but then any other stakeholders who also need training like you?
Of course, because you see the measurement. I've been talking about maybe the upstream operators, even the downstream, because it's a principle. If this principle work here, certainly to work anywhere. It's a principle.
I have to sort of ask this, and I don't know if it's a silly question to ask, but this knowledge you are sharing, isn't this someone who studied petrochemical engineering? Is it that they're not getting the proper education or exposure they need when they go to university to study this? Because I'm not in the engineering or sciences. So why is it that this particular knowledge is now niche?
That's a very good question. I read petroleum engineering up to a postgraduate level. And I will tell you that the curriculum doesn't really pick this up.
Okay.
This
the
was
accounting aspect.
The hydrocarbon accounting.
Wow.
The hydrocarbon accounting. So it's but this is an area that from where I sit is the most important, because it's like you are in a bakery, you produce 10 bread.
Yeah.
At the point of sale, they are telling that it's 8. So how, the question you ask, what do I need to do to bring it up to 9 or thereabout? So that's why I'm saying that it's not really about it's a very niche area, but very, very important for the business.
I have to say thank you so much, Mr. Udofia, for coming to talk to us today. As you said earlier when we started, there's never enough time to break these things down, but I think you've done excellently well, sort of just clearing the air on what you do and how exactly this affects your industry. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
All right, now we have a chef in the kitchen who has been hard at work. She's been putting together something special, and would love for you to join us there.
Okay.
Let's take a stroll.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, welcome to the kitchen. And Titi, you had a wonderful conversation, and we have breakfast. Chef Laura, please tell us what this is.
Okay, this is adalu in Yoruba, and yam, beans and corn pottage.
Corn pottage, lovely. Yes. And then you have that's pomo.
We have a beef, we have smoked fish, and some veggies.
If he doesn't eat this thing fast, this thing might just disappear. Please have it.
So, go ahead, sir. You know, he's into oil and gas, and I'm seeing the process of distillation of the palm oil. It's, you know, 1 + 1 doesn't always equal to 2.
You know, I was just talking with Mary now. I'm going to maybe behind, I'll ask it. I want to understand the economics, why we are. Okay, but you have to say, what do you think about it?
Very
Thank you very much.
All right.
All right, Chef Flora.
Thank you so much.
Well done, well done. It's been a wonderful show. Thank you to everyone who's been a part of this show for today. But of course, there is no way we're going to end the show without Coda Band taking us out on a Monday morning. We will see you for Tuesday episode of Wake Up Nigeria. Coda Band, it's all yours.
Yeah. How long will it take you to realize I'm opening every fire? I'm opening every fire. I'ma say, but I'm still out here fighting. What are we doing, my dear, my dear? Fighting. I surrender you, my share, fighting. My answer in the air, in the air. Fighting. Only time will tell the difference. What is the reason you do not have your own peace of mind? Are you happy for now? Are you doing these things to survive? Are you taking the pictures of everything from a piece of perfect life? What's the reason why we're still out here fighting? Fighting. 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 Alright, for the band, yeah. Listen, yeah, it's lonely at the time. Lonely. Money on my mind. Don't care what they are in about me in particular. Call me. Actually, I want to riches in my dream because I know. Yeah, all along the Bamala. But I come to it, Shamala. I can once in the come along and they find anybody that money I want. No, they are waiting people they talk. What's it, I shall get it to love. This life, and I want to get another one. I go think I'll be waiting, I love. Waiting, you love. I go, waiting, I love. Waiting, I love. I go to my beat on my heart. Oh, go, no, be one. Mr. Money Changer, but I know they waste time. Mr. Money Changer, listen. Oh, you just carry on, baby, no time. My birthday, me, I do fine, and at the same time, yeah. The other must stand down, calm down. You go there fine, like one, you keep mine. Sing about it, that's your ordinary things. Show me love, and I go show you more. Oh, she say, oh, she. Oh, you thought they just say, put it for fire, put it for fire. Yeah, all along the bambala. But I'm not tired, it's shamala. Everyone see like they come along and they find anybody that money I want. No, they always see people they talk. Once again, I shall get it to love. This life, you know, want to get another one. Listen.
Entertainment to me is everything. Entertainment is surrounding myself with loved ones, family, watching some good television shows, TV series, listening to good music, and taking a trip around the world, seeing new places, and interacting with different people, and also having a feel of different culture and people all around the world. So